It is my pleasure to welcome you here at LeanGap San Francisco 2024. First of all, I want to thank you for being here. Not only does it mean a lot to our students, but it means a lot to us that you're here today. My name is Arnie Nuri. I'm a LeanGap 2020 alumni, and I'm a mentor here at LeanGap. I just graduated from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, where I studied computer science with a concentration in machine learning. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to LeanGap San Francisco 2024 here at UC Berkeley. We have 6 amazing teams excited to pitch to you today. After pitching, we're going to have judges' deliberation and photos. After all of that, we're going to have a networking hour where you can meet all the teams, the judges, and the students and parents with some light snacks. So what is LeanGap? Why are you here today? LeanGap is a 4-week summer entrepreneurship program catered to high schoolers who build companies. But you already knew that from the website. To me, LeanGap is a place where you can be yourself. A place where you can build self-confidence by creating companies that provide value to the world. This is me when I was 7 years old. When you're a child, I think you have that sparkle in your eye, things you want to accomplish, dreams you want to pursue, and things you want to do with your life. And somewhere along the way, people tell you, no, you can't do that. You have to follow the rules. You have to do this in a certain way. And they put you in a box. In that box, you start to form these limiting beliefs about yourselves. Beliefs, for me, such as, what if I'm never good enough? What if people hate me? What if I get rejected? And the limiting belief that has affected me for most of my life is, what if I fail? You see, the difference between LeanGap and the school system is that the school system doesn't allow you to fail. Because if you fail in school, if you get a bad grade on a test, you're told you won't get into a great college. And then you're told if you can't get into a great college, you won't get your dream job. And if you can't get your dream job, you're told you can't have that great life you've always wanted for yourself. So you live in fear instead. When I joined LeanGap in 2020, it was the first time in a long time where this guy had the freedom to do what he wanted, to experiment, to try, and to fail. He had the independence to do what he wanted, to build the things he wanted to do, and the self-confidence that, wow, I can really do that thing. First time in a long time where I was able to try new things, just like riding a bike for the first time without training wheels on. And that's not the first attempt. That's one of many attempts. You get up, you fail, and you try again. LeanGap is not easy. LeanGap is definitely not easy. It's a protocol for the real world. Because in the real world, not everything goes your way. The first 2 weeks of LeanGap were brutal for me, as I still faced the limiting beliefs that I had, and I was still stuck with that school mindset. LeanGap, you don't do things to check off a grade. You don't do an assignment to just do the assignment and get that grade. You do things because you care. And in that caring, you're expected to fail. Because if you didn't fail, that means you weren't trying at all. So, what if I fail? Good. Learn from your mistakes and pick back up again. The best way to learn is by doing. Absolutely the best way to learn is by doing. Through life and through the last 4 weeks, you go through roller coasters. A roller coaster of emotion, ups and downs that form bonds stronger than any, yo bro, can I have the homework last night type of transactional school relationship that you have in high school. These bonds form strong relationships, and LeanGap is a family. Parents, if you've started your own business, you know exactly this emotional roller coaster I'm talking about. You go through joy and happiness, but also you go through moments of anger. Anger not only at your teammates and clients, but anger at yourself. You go through moments of depression and disappointment. And all of this emotion leads to this strong bond. But LeanGap, for me, has created a safe space, not only for me, but for many other students. So what is LeanGap? LeanGap, to me, is the best 4 weeks where you can become the best version of yourself. And this story is not only applied to me, but since 2015 and over the last 10 years, every single year, 40 students embark on the same journey. The journey where these students have now just completed. And in 2020, when I did LeanGap, I thought my summer plans were over because the summer camp I was going to do shut down. I was glad I was able to find LeanGap to now join as a mentor and see students grow in the same way that I did. And now it's time for the San Francisco 2024 cohort to show their mark. So as I said, LeanGap is that opportunity for growth for students, and it's going to allow you to step into reality and get that first punch of reality because things in life don't always go your way. So with that, I'd love to introduce our first judge, Ishmael. Ishmael is the co-founder and CTO of Paragon. Paragon powers companies through SaaS integration software, and it's also a Y Combinator-backed company. If you don't know what YC is probably the most important startup incubator in the world. Products you use every day come out of YC, like Reddit and Airbnb, just to name two. Ishmael is also a Forbes 30 Under 30 member, and he has over 15 years of software experience developing softwares and products for companies such as Uber and Universal Studios. So thank you, Ishmael. We're really excited to have you here today. Next, we have Danielle. Danielle is the founder and general partner at the 1517 Fund. The 1517 Fund is a special fund because they fund high schoolers, college dropouts, outliers, those who want to make an impact in the world, just like our students today. She's also one of the founding members at the Thiel Fellowship, started by Peter Thiel, one of the co-founders of PayPal. So we can thank Danielle for many of the products we use today, such as Figma, and some of the technologies of the future like Ethereum. She's also had over a decade of experience working with high school teens, and she's heard thousands, tens of thousands of pitches over the last decade. She was also a mentor last year, so we're really excited to have you back, Danielle. And last but not least, we have Kristen. Kristen Chen is a startup advisor here in the Bay Area, and previously, she was the former CEO of TopGG. TopGG is the world's largest Discord and server bot discovery platform, and she's held prior roles at companies such as MetaTheory and SoundCloud, and has had product management experience at companies like Pinterest, Twitch, and LinkedIn. She was also a judge last year, so we're super thrilled to have you back, Kristen. Thank you for joining us. So we have everything covered, 40 years of tech experience in Silicon Valley, from traction to engineering to product management and investing. So today we're going to judge based on two criteria. We have two awards to give out. Firstly is Best Pitch. Best Pitch is the company with the best storytelling. And secondly, we have Most Outstanding Company. But before I get into that, I want to mention that LeanGap is not a competition. All teams help other teams. So when you judge Most Outstanding Company, we want it based off of context within the 4 weeks of experience that they've had and context within their specific industry. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first team today, Incepta.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take one moment to think about that one person who played a critical role in getting you where you are today. As high schoolers working really hard to get into our dream colleges, we'd kill to have that one person to help us get in. But unfortunately, that's really hard for us to do. Hi, I'm Anahad,
And I'm Arit.
and we're co-founders of Incepta, your secret weapon to the college admissions process. On Incepta, high schoolers gain direct access to college students who are willing to give them the inside scoop on how to crush the admissions process.
As a rising sophomore, I started my college research a few months ago. But as I was researching, I kept running into the same few problems. Firstly, the websites are useless. Navigating college websites is like going on a real treasure hunt, except there is no treasure. And secondly, getting ghosted on LinkedIn. If I had $1 for every time I got ghosted on LinkedIn, I'd have 4 years of tuition in my pocket right now. And lastly, I wasted a ton of time. One time, I spent 3 hours researching about an investment club at a school that I liked, only to find out that it had been disbanded a year ago. I just wish there could have been someone that would have told me that and saved me all that time.
And Arit's not the only student with that problem. If only there was a solution. Enter Incepta. On Incepta, high schoolers quickly sign up and immediately get to browse college students and decide who they want to book a call with. Then, we reach out to each of them via email, find out the time they're available, and set up a Google Meets call for both of them. Finally, the high school student can ask the college student whatever questions they have, such as what they put on their application, tips about campus life and campus culture, and anything else that the high schooler might have to ask. Then, afterwards, the college student is paid for their time. In just 5 days, we've had over 90 high schoolers sign up to our platform and have generated over $230 in revenue. We've also had over 30 university students sign up to be mentors on Incepta from various prestigious institutions such as Princeton, Brown, UPenn, Duke, Columbia, and more. Our business model is a pay-per-call model. So for every 30-minute call, the high schooler pays $30, and after the call is done, the college student will get paid $20 for their time.
Incepta has 3 main competitors: LinkedIn, CollegeVine, and CollegeWise, but all 3 of them have their own flaws. First is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is useful for if you already made the connection in person, but chances are, if you request a match with someone on LinkedIn and connect with them out of the blue, they're not going to accept your connection. Secondly, we have CollegeVine. CollegeVine gives users AI-generated info, so oftentimes it's not personalized, it can be out of date, and can be completely irrelevant. And lastly, we have CollegeWise. CollegeWise can be useful for helping your application or improving your essays, but doesn't actually tell you what the campus culture is like or let you talk to a real student like Incepta does.
So why are we the best team to make Incepta? As high schoolers, we all know how frustrating it is to go through tons of websites to only get just a little bit of info. We have all spent countless hours trying to figure out what colleges we want to apply to and how to make our applications shine. But that information isn't easy to come by. And that's why we created Incepta, the perfect tool for high schoolers, just like us, to get the information and connections that they want without any of the struggle.
We have a great future planned for the next year for Incepta. By the 4th quarter of 2024, we're going to expand to reach more colleges. This is going to allow to give our users more options and improve our user experience. And by the 1st quarter of 2025, we're going to partner with college consulting firms. This is going to allow us to get more students over every year and improve our user base. And then by the 2nd quarter of 2025, we're going to make a mobile app. This is going to make it more easy and convenient for users to use Incepta on their phone, especially Gen Z users. We're asking for $150,000 from the investors. Off that, we're going to spend $80,000 to finish developing our website and develop an app, $40,000 for operating costs such as salaries, and then finally, we need $30,000 to run ads to get more users for Incepta.
So, in a nutshell, Incepta is the best way for high schoolers to get direct access to college students who can give them the inside scoop on how to crush the college admissions process. But it's so much more than just that. It's a way for high schoolers to achieve their dreams and secure their futures. Thank you. And let's make it easier for high schoolers to achieve their dreams with Incepta.
So on the prototype, when you're presenting that, you mentioned that a prospective college student could come to the site, they would see a list of university students, and then you would email them and find out when they're available, set up Google Meets, et cetera. That sounds like a lot of friction. I'm wondering, is there anything stopping you from kind of having the availability of the students there and having them book something immediately?
So in the future, we plan to automate that entire process. So it will be the college student will input in the website when they're available, and it will just automatically just tell the high school student when they're available so they can book a time. But right now, it's just we're sending emails and it's not automated yet.
How long is a call expected to be?
Yeah, each call is going to be 30 minutes on Google Meets.
Okay, and now I got my harder question. So, I've seen teams try to do this for about a decade. And sadly, I think it's a great idea in principle, in theory, but in reality, it's been hard for people to get a company like this off the ground. What do you think are the real big challenges to getting this to work, and why hasn't it worked yet?
I think the big challenges to getting this work is obviously first we have to build up our network of college students, which we've tried to do so far. And that's also a barrier to entry, because if we don't have enough college students in enough universities, we won't have the necessary tools that people want. So obviously we're gonna have to build that up. And then other difficulties would be marketing, but what we said is that we can partner with college consulting firms to get a recurring pool of students that would keep coming. So it would be hard to build up the initial base of college students in universities, but once we build it up, I think it'd be appealing to students once they see all the different options that they have to buy.
How are you guys thinking about the chicken and egg problem? Let's say you have students in Nebraska or who are looking at colleges in Nebraska, but you have university students in, let's say, Berkeley. If you can't, pair them, how are you going to make sure that there's people on both sides of the marketplace?
Right, so as of now, we are collecting, colleges from the top universities. That's kind of what our platform is catered to, those that want to attend the top universities. And in doing so, we're able to reach out to, around the United States. But additionally, the universities that we do have, we are sort of specializing our marketing into those kind of regions to students who want to go to those universities. So.
I have another question about business model. One thing that seems clear is most students are going to maybe do a couple phone calls at most per university. Are there other business cases that you could build on top of this so your lifetime user, sort of experience is deeper?
Yeah, so as of right now, we're also developing a text feature so that users can get be able to talk about questions over longer periods of times rather than just a 30-minute call. That's a beta feature that's in testing right now, and we started to implement it into the website, but it's not finished. And additionally, I think it's important to note that most high school students don't just have one dream college where they want to talk to multiple people in that college. They have multiple colleges, and so that's why people will continue to use our website, because they want to get a perspective from Princeton and a perspective from Stanford and a perspective from Brown, for example.
Thank you, judges. We have time for one more question.
Why do you need $80,000 for an MVP versus using something like a Google form and manually pairing people together?
So for the $80,000, most of it would be to develop our UI and UX, make it more appealing for users to click on, improving our landing page, and then it wouldn't be that much. We have to also develop an app so people can use it on texting, especially on their phone. And then most of it would be probably to marketing, so we can get the word out, because right now we're a new company and not that many people know about us. So if we spend it initially into marketing, we can get a lot of people on Incepta.
Thank you, Incepta.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Louis.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're co-founders of LiftRight. Meet one of our customers, Danny, a 26-year-old beginner weightlifter. Do you guys see anything wrong with his form? Maybe not. But with LiftRight, we can accurately pinpoint the inaccuracies in his posture. His shoulders are way too far back, and his elbows are too straight, making for an awkward position and an injury just waiting to happen. Unfortunately, the weight caused too much tension, and Danny suffered a collarbone injury, resulting in over 2 months of physical therapy and rehab. And he's not alone. Many other people often struggle with the same problem of having improper form in the gym, often resulting in accidents or injuries. All of our customers had one thing in common. They had no affordable fitness guidance. At first, Danny looked towards personal trainers for help, but he soon realized that they were way out of his budget since trainers were often charging over $100 per session. So he turned towards YouTube videos, but he also soon realized that they were not personalized enough to meet his specific needs. And finally, Danny found LiftRight. With LiftRight, Danny was lifting safely and securely in the gym.
Combining AI analysis and gym feedback, LiftRight provides you personalized tips to make sure you're lifting safely and securely. Simply choose an exercise, upload a video, and enter your payment information. From there, you'll receive your feedback to your inbox within just 5 hours. In the last week alone, we have made 35 sales, totaling to over $105 in revenue. We're currently charging $3 per round of form feedback, which is delivered via video. Our main competitors are personal trainers on Fiverr, Zing Coach, as well as interactive workout mirrors. However, we offer better value than our competitors for a multitude of reasons. Personal trainers on Fiverr take days to deliver their services. Zing Coach is cardio-oriented and does not provide form feedback, and interactive workout mirrors are often unaffordable, costing upwards of thousands of dollars. Amongst our competition, LiftRight is uniquely affordable and convenient.
We are the best fitted team to solve this issue because each of our team members have experienced firsthand the struggles and annoyances of having improper gym form.
As a lifter of 3 years, I struggled with finding correct form in the gym. However, after finding LiftRight, I could pinpoint the inaccuracies in my form, allowing me to easily correct it and lift safely.
We are the people with the motivation and the reasons to make LiftRight happen. Firstly, by the end of 2024, we plan to publish our app so that it is discoverable on the App Store and the Google Play Store. Next, by the beginning of 2025, we plan to deliver faster and higher quality responses. Currently, we are manually feeding into our AI analyzer each of our clients' videos, which accounts for the 5-hour wait time. However, by implementing OpenAI, we plan to shorten that wait time from 5 hours to 5 seconds. And finally, by Q2 of 2025, we plan to integrate OpenPose AI with LiftRight. OpenPose AI is a generative AI model developed by Carnegie Mellon students that tracks your limbs and your joints using dots and angles. And we believe that this technology would be greatly beneficial for LiftRight's success.
Investors, we are asking for $150,000. In the coming year, we will use $90,000 on our technological development, $30,000 on our operational costs, and the remaining $30,000 on our marketing costs. In summary, LiftRight isn't just an AI lifting form analysis service. It's a movement to make sure you're lifting safely and securely. Thank you. And let's lift right together.
LiftRight will now have 3 minutes for questions from the judges.
Can you walk us through your team and like each person's contribution? Like how are y'all building this with each other?
My contribution is that I've been a lifter for 3 years, and I also have a nonprofit that's partnering with Under Armour, so that will help us get our first outreach to our first customers.
My name is Ernie, and I was in charge of creating the actual app and making sure that the website and applications were working functionally.
My name is Jessie, and I had most of my job was planning on the traction plan, and I also had help in the social media planning.
Hi, I'm Alex. I've also been lifting for over 3 years, and I was mainly behind the sales strategy and the website.
Hi, I'm Jonah, and I'm helping with the social media and the design as well as marketing for Traction.
Hi, I'm Louis, and I was in charge of creating the validation form and also constructing the MVP.
Cool, great. Yeah, I just wanted more clarity. Thank you.
I understand that you guys want to make the price point affordable, but if the alternative is like $100 PT sessions or hospital bills, why not charge more?
Well, the thing is that we have a lot of competitors that are charging lower rates, such as Zing Coach, like $15 per session. And even though these competitors don't do exactly what we do, I feel like because to give like a round of form feedback for us right now is relatively low cost, just because we are using OpenAI. So I feel like we want to charge as little as possible. And when we were getting traction initially, we found that $3 was the right price point for us.
Just a follow-up question on that. Why not a subscription versus one-off?
So when we were doing our traction plan, we ultimately decided to listen to our customers. We asked them if they would prefer a subscription model or a pay-as-you-go model. We found that with Gymform, it isn't something that you can fix within one try. And we don't want someone to pay the subscription if it's not what they require. If they need 5 form correction videos, they can pay for each of the 5 and get their money back correctly.
Could you walk us through your, longer-term growth and marketing strategy? Or, how are you finding your initial customers now?
So we have go to our Samsung slide. So right now we're just targeting the gym goers in Berkeley as our customers. That's where we're getting our traction from. However, as we grow, we plan to expand through my nonprofit, Rising Stars of Baltimore. See, I'm from Baltimore, and Under Armour also started in Baltimore, so I have a lot of connections to them. And I've been partnering with them on a different product I've been working on, so I plan to outreach to the same customers through that nonprofit.
As you guys grow your revenue, it's usually a lot easier to sell to existing customers than it is to acquire new customers. How are you thinking about expanding your revenue with existing customers past the initial form corrections?
So I've experienced lifting, and I don't know if any of you guys do, but I incorporate new exercises into my workout routine all the time, like preacher curls. I did that like a couple months ago, and when I first started, I needed to learn new form all over again for that exercise because it's like a very specific range of motion. So it's not just a one-time purchase for our customers on a certain exercise. Every time they want to incorporate a new exercise, they can use our product because we provide feedback for like a very wide array of exercises.
Thank you, judges. We have time for one more question.
If you all had 2 more months to build, what would you do?
I can answer this question. So, following our future roadmap, our current plan is to integrate a code tracker as well as OpenPose, which is a system where we would use the dots to basically analyze their weightlifting form in a more in-depth style rather than just giving textual feedback.
And we also are using ChatGPT 4 right now for our analysis, but we plan to integrate OpenAI tokens so that our feedback time will be a lot shorter.
Thank you, Lift Right.
Hi, my name is Sean. And my name is Nicole. And we are 2 of the co-founders of Lollygag, a website with one-on-one voice calling and strategic mini-games.
How many times have you opened Instagram today? 5 times? 10 times? Well, why don't we check mine, Sean? All right, let's see. 55 times? Oh my God. My mom sees that, she's gonna kill me. Whenever I'm bored, I end up doom scrolling. I doom scroll on TikTok, I doom scroll on Instagram Reels, or I doom scroll on YouTube Shorts. Whatever it is, afterwards, I always get a nagging feeling that I just wasted my time. I mean, look at my screen time. It's not just that. Deep down, I wish I had a place to go whenever I'm bored. But I haven't been able to find one. So, we decided to make one. Meet Lollygag, a place where you can jump into strategic minigames and make friends while playing. Switching from TikTok to Lollygag as your default place to go whenever you're bored means going from being embarrassed or ashamed for how many hours you spent on social media to being proud for how many hours you've been productive.
Better yet, Lollygag is super easy to use. You can start in just 3 simple steps. Step 1, simply go to lollygag.live. Step 2, enter your interest and select a strategy game. And step 3, connect with one of our members from our Gen Z community and start playing.
Just take a look at our user interface. On the left-hand side, you'll see the players where you have the ability to mute yourself. In the middle, you'll have your game. In this case, it's chess, which is a pretty intellectually stimulating game, if you ask me. On the bottom, you have your leave call button. That's when you can leave a call at any time you want. And on the right side, you can always request a new game just to change things up.
But it's not just us. Our friends are really interested too. In the last week alone, over 150 high school students joined our wait list. Now, Lollygag is uniquely fun and guilt-free for 3 reasons. Firstly, users feel safe and comfortable on our website because of our safety system. If our system identifies content as potentially harmful, users are immediately removed from the session. Secondly, the time you spend on Lollygag is intellectually stimulating and fun thanks to our strategy games. And finally, Lollygag fosters connections. Playing strategy games has a unique way of bonding people. If you've ever been to an escape room, you know the feeling.
We make money in 2 key ways. The first way is through advertisements. Advertisers will pay to run ads so that users get to experience the core features of Lollygag for free. The second way is through premium ads, or through premium subscription plan. Premium users will be able to access exclusive games as well as advanced matchmaking.
Now, our team is perfect for creating Lollygag because we are Gen Zs, just like our users. We've all been in the coolest position once. We've all felt what it's like to have our precious time stolen from us.
Not only that, but we were really well together. Let's take a look at our timeline. In the rest of quarter 3 of this year, that's when we're going to implement our voice calling system. In quarter 4 of this year, that's when we're going to implement our mini games. In quarter 1 of 2025, we're going to implement our advertisements to keep Lollygag up and running. And in quarter 2 of 2025, that's when we're going to add our premium subscription model. Our ask is $300,000. We need $200,000 to build and maintain our website for our development costs. We need $50,000 for marketing to reach and engage our target market. And we need $50,000 for operational costs to ensure smooth day-to-day activities.
So, in a nutshell, Lollygag isn't just about voice calls or mini-games. It's about helping people connect and enjoy the guilt-free fun they deserve. So let's help more people like Nicole
and like Sean
turn our downtime from a guilt-ridden experience into a rewarding one.
Start a game, start a friendship.
Thank you, Lollygag. We'll now have 3 minutes for questions from the judges.
This is a really fun idea. I'm still on. Oh, I am on. What have you built? Like, what exists right now?
So right now, users connect each other through our voice call, and we do have codes for mini games. But we're still fixing out like how to combine these 2 elements together. So like after Lean Gap, we plan to hire professional developers to help us finish the tech.
Just to add on, we're using Jitsi right now, which is a safe and secure calling application where users can join a room and then they can have a room ID, which they will share with other users.
And have you tested this with users? And if so, what has the feedback been like?
Right now, the difficulty is not like actually getting into the room. The difficulty is the matchmaking because of the randomized thing. You need like a ton of money or like a ton of cloud storage on like Firebase or DigitalOcean or whatever your platform is. So it's more difficult to randomize the matching together. And so that's what we owe to finish within quarter 3 of this year, the voice calling system.
So something important for a lot of games is reward and loyalty mechanisms. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about how you're approaching that or thinking about that.
Sorry, could you clarify what you mean by reward and
Oh,
loyalty?
sorry, reward or loyalty mechanism. So, when you're playing a game, how are you going to have these players kind of keep coming back to play more or perhaps have a feeling of progression so they keep coming back to Lollygag kind of over time?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things about Lollygag is the connection you make with new people around the world. And we think that this is an incentive for people to come back to our site because people are always willing to make new friends and meet new people.
Oh, and to add on to that, in the future, I think we're planning to implement a friend system where you can chat with people so you don't have to actually give them your number or any personal information, but you can still continue the relationship through our app without kind of giving up any of your privacies.
For products like these, building and maintaining multiple games is kind of like running several mini companies. Have you guys thought about just partnering with another organization or tool to embed games within?
Yeah, so that's definitely something we thought about in the future, like Socket Games. We could probably partner with them, but the reason why we asked for $200,000 is because of the development costs for these types of games.
But why? Why build it versus buy it?
I feel like if we build it, it's better in the long run. When you buy it and you have to keep coming back to a certain company like that, it becomes harder in the long run.
And we also plan to like make a few games. So a lot of popular games like Wordle, a lot of the NYC games are really, really popular right now. And so we kind of plan to create like a trend in the future and have people, that's kind of also how we're going to have people keep coming on to come back to our website.
That makes sense. No other comments, but I just want to say I really love you guys' energy. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges. We have time for one more question if you want.
What's been the hardest part of working on this?
I would say it's definitely the tech. There's a lot of aspects to Lollygag. We need to have games, and we also need to implement voice calls at the same time. But we've been working really hard on the tech, and we've already been able to make voice calling happen. We just need to work on finding a database to allow randomization.
Can I add on? Because Lollygag, like how Lollygag will work, it's really based on how much users we have. So definitely in the future, we will focus on traction, and we will cost on social media ads so we can like attract like more gensers.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Vivon.
And I'm Alyssa.
And we are Spiky. Safety on a Keychain. This is Greg Mackey. Greg was an 18-year-old student at Edinburgh College. He had dreams of emigrating to Australia and a passion for film and TV media. He was an accomplished speedway rider, often drug tested, and strictly against drugs of any kind. His life was so full of potential. But tragically, in November of 2017, he was found dead in his dormitory bathroom by the janitor. His drink had been spiked with the equivalent of 5 ecstasy tablets, 5 times the amount that your body can even handle. Now imagine if this was your child, your brother, your sister, someone you truly cared about.
Now, let's take a moment to understand the gravity of this issue. Imagine waking up and finding your child's face on the front page of a newspaper. Not for their achievements, but because their life was tragically cut short by an unspeakable crime. There are millions of stories just like Greg's on the news, and they all lead back to one root cause.
Drink spiking. Drink spiking is a secret addition of drugs into your drink that can lead to countless harmful effects, including sexual assault, kidnapping, robbery, and in the long term, emotional and physical trauma. If this was your child, would you just sit back and watch this happen?
No, and neither did Greg's parents. Through their grief, parents Colin and Mandy Mackey decided to launch a campaign against drink spiking, and they now lead Spike Aware UK. Through their grief, the Mackeys turned their personal tragedy into a mission to protect others and ensure that no other family had to endure the pain they suffered. Greg's parents raised their campaign to raise awareness. We are tackling the problem head on.
Introducing Spiky, the world's first spike detection keychain. The Spiky provides portable protection for your peace of mind. It's fast, discreet, and accurate, making sure you or your loved ones feel safe in any social setting. And it works in just 3 simple steps. Start by removing the packaging from your Spiky before you go out. Then, take a drop of your drink and place it onto the Spiky. Finally, wait 15 seconds and you'll know whether your drink has been spiked by a color change.
In just 1 week, we've saved over 100 potential victims, and raised over $1,000 in revenue. This is how Spiky clearly stands out against his competitors. We're discreet, easy to use, portable, affordable, and yield quick results. Now, we mentioned discreetness as a key factor in Spiky, but why? Drink spiking often happens at house parties, and discreetness is a way to ensure protection without feeling embarrassed, self-conscious, or offending anyone around you. Along with our other features, Spiky is the perfect tool for everyday use. In the future, in Q4 of 2024, we plan to implement light for visual aid in dim lighting, and a subscription plan for regular party goers. In the first quarter of 2025, we want to implement paid targeted advertising for even more traction and collaborate with Greek life communities on college campuses. In the second quarter of 2025, we plan to scale up through pop-up stores on different college campuses.
Now meet the faces behind Spiky. Each one of us knows someone that has firsthand experience with the severe harms of drink spiking, and we are passionate about our solution to it. We want to make the world a better and safer place for everyone, and that's why we're the perfect team to lead this project. In order to make Spiky happen, we're asking for $200,000. $60,000 to go into production so we can build our Spiky stock. $60,000 for operational costs to keep Spiky running throughout the years. $50,000 for research and development to find new drugs and increase Spiky's usage. And finally, $30,000 so we can spread Spiky to more people and share its benefits.
Spiky is a portable protection device that discreetly ensures your social safety. In a nutshell, Spiky isn't just test strips on keychains. It's about giving you peace of mind, knowing that you and your loved ones are protected, and preventing even more tragedies like Greg's. Stay safe with Spiky.
Thank you, Spiky. We'll now have 3 minutes for questions from the judges.
Wow, I'm really impressed with both the pitching, the idea, the execution. Really wonderful job. I have so many questions. I think in the video it showed like pipetting liquid on. I'm sort of curious, like you're obviously not going to have a pipette with you when you're out at a party. Can you like dunk the cheek? Can you do different things? Would you like to, in that discrete model that you're talking about, what's the most discreet way to use this? And I was also curious with that $1,000 in revenue, what's the price point for the Spiky? And did you all like do any development of technology or IP here, or is this something off the shelf that you've put in the key?
Great questions. So I can answer the last one first. So we contacted a manufacturer. So these two organizations developed the technology behind the strip that turns a certain color in the presence of the date rape drugs. And then one more slide. This company, Think Twice, sells a bunch of drink spiking and breathalyzers directly on their website, and they manufacture it with the technology from the previous two organizations. And so we contacted the manufacturer, and he sent us all of the science, all of the science proving that it works, and we purchased the strips in mass, and we put them into our product. And then with the price point, can you go back to the, yes, right here. So this is what you get in a typical Spiky package. These are our costs of goods, and then online, we sell for more than in person. And we also charge for shipping. And in person, we've been varying our price strategy based on like the demographic. We've been charging more for parents who tend to be more concerned. And then we have so many college students around us, and so we did a lot of in-person sales with them. And so that's how we priced.
To answer your first question, just a tiny drop of liquid will be enough for the test.
And I can finish that question up. So the way it works is it wasn't actually a pipette, so it's a straw. So a lot of drinks have straws in it, and if you just hold the top of the straw, it kind of collects some liquid. And the other thing is, as long as you don't lick your finger after, ketamine and most date rape drugs are perfectly safe to just use your finger to quickly dip. As long as you don't, lick your finger before the test is revealed the result, it should be completely safe to use your finger.
Building on the last question, like why a keychain versus like a straw, a cup, bubble gum, or some other type of medium?
That's a great question. So I pitched the idea to the group, and my initial idea was a straw that would turn blue so you can immediately see it. And then we found that they've tried to make it happen, these 4 high schoolers who won a business competition with it, except it wasn't actually feasible because the material that the paper is glazed with is not safe for consumption. So it can't go in your mouth, anything like that. And so we realized that on top of that, it would be more discreet to have something as conspicuous as a keychain without actually consuming. Yeah.
Very well researched. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really love the keychain because we all carry keychains and things like that, and you just pop 1 or 2 on, you have it, and you don't have to think about it. Like, yeah, just really brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, you mentioned a subscription and scaling. Would love to hear a little bit more about how you're approaching that.
So I know a big question is that it's, as you said, it's easier to market to customers you already have. So our keychain, we sell refills for it. So if you go on our website, you can rebuy refills for the keychain, so you don't have to buy an entire keychain again.
Mm-hmm. And then the subscription plan, we found a lot of sorority members on campus telling us horror stories of even like frats within UC Berkeley doing the spiking, and they are regular party goers. They have almost like periodic parties, and so this would be a great way to expand our scope.
Thank you, judges. We have time for one last question.
In terms of go-to-market strategy, if you guys wanted to get the highest distribution possible, how are you thinking about that?
Do you want to go to our recognition? So we mentioned SpikeAware UK, which is the campaign that Mackie's parents did. So we're currently doing an ongoing partnership. We just sent them some samples, and we're going to communicate with them. So the UK has the biggest problem with drink spiking because there's pubs everywhere. And so that's how we will target the older demographics there. And then one more ahead. We have, the recognition one from the universities. Oh, okay. Well, we contacted a bunch of universities with strong Greek life communities, and they said they're really interested in our product and having each sorority just send them out to their members.
Thank you, Spiky.
Thank you.
Hi, judges. My name is Ruhan.
And my name is Akil.
And we are Lighthouse Care, fitness and wellness directly to your door.
Firstly, let's meet my uncle Rajesh. Rajesh is a neurosurgeon based in San Francisco, and his son's wedding is upcoming in December. Rajesh wants to be fit and healthy for his son's big day. But there is one problem. Rajesh is not comfortable with leaving his home to go to the gym. So he decides he needs a personal trainer that can come to his home. One day, Rajesh takes a seat, opens his laptop, and starts surfing the web for that personal trainer. But he quickly tires out after filling out endless questionnaires and sifting through long, long lists of personal trainers. Before he realizes, Rajesh just spent the last 2 hours looking for a personal trainer with no luck. And it turns out, Rajesh is not alone. According to a survey by the National Health and Fitness Association, 60% of professionals struggle with finding personal trainers that can come to their home. Searching for a personal trainer is a difficult task, and for Rajesh, he lost valuable time that he could have used to do his work.
That's why we made our solution Lighthouse Care. We are an online platform where clients can set their preferences in order to instantly match with at-home fitness trainers and at-home yoga instructors in just one click. So here we just have a very basic and quick demonstration of how our website works. As we can see, the client in that corner is filling out their profile with some very basic information, like their gender, their age, etc. After they do this, they go to schedule an appointment on our home screen and again, fill out some very basic information, such as the date and time for the appointment. Once he does that, he clicks the book appointment button. And once that happens, this request gets sent out to every single trainer within his area. If one of them decides to accept, he's officially matched with his first trainer on Lighthouse Care.
Here is a graph comparing Lighthouse Care to our top competitors in the market. Firstly, let's talk about Instagram. If a client wants to book with a personal trainer using Instagram, there's a lot of back and forth communication, making it very time consuming. If you wanted to use individual websites of personal trainers, you'd have to look and look for a very long time until you found a personal trainer that actually fit your preferences. Now we have Thumbtack and Find Your Trainer. Both of these platforms have hefty commissions for the fitness professional, and they require clients to fill long questionnaires, taking up a bunch of your time. Lighthouse Care is the only company on the market that is easy to use, reliable, fast, and has no hidden fees.
Our business model is incredibly simple. We charge a 7.5% commission off of every booking transaction made on our website. This is competitively low when you compare it to other platforms like Thumbtack that have a 10 to 20% commission on every single booking transaction, as well as lead charge fees. And right now, we currently have 15 users on our site and 7 fitness professionals. But why are we the perfect team to actually tackle this problem? Every single one of us knows a loved one that could use the help of at-home personalized fitness instruction. But a lot of our loved ones don't really have access to it because of how hard it is to find trainers. We are driven and ready to tackle this problem head on.
Here is a roadmap of our future milestones. In Q3 of 2024, we want to work on reaching out to more fitness professionals and also reaching out and running social media marketing ads in order to gain a client base. In Q4 of 2024, we want to work on developing our site by adding testimonials from satisfied customers and also adding a ratings feature for fitness professionals. In the first quarter of 2025, we want to work on reaching out further in California by cold emailing fitness professionals in the Los Angeles and San Diego areas. And lastly, in Q2 of 2025, we want to work on focusing on retaining clients. We will do this by implementing any feedback and observations from our current user base. In order to meet these milestones, we are asking for $80,000. $40,000 will go to operational costs, $30,000 will go to social media marketing ads, and $10,000 will go to web development.
But why are we all doing this right now? Currently, the personal fitness training market and adjacent markets are booming. As you can see in the graph behind me, in just 10 years, the at-home yoga instructor market will grow by $200 billion. Right now is the perfect time to facilitate this growth with a platform like Lighthouse Care. But why does the platform have to be Lighthouse Care specifically? It's because right now we are revolutionizing the way that clients can reach at-home fitness professionals by making it accessible, convenient, and easy. So let's help people like Rajesh find the fitness trainers that they need one appointment at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Lighthouse Care. We'll now have 3 minutes from questions from the judges.
Check. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with the industry, but my intuition would tell me that the economics would be better if you just did telehealth, like for both the provider as well as like the customer, because you don't have the commute. The provider can deal with like more people because they don't have to commute, etc. Why in person versus telehealth?
So many times that can be preferred from professionals, but certain professionals just don't have a place to give to their clients to use. So this is more of like, hey, let's meet at this gym here and let's book an appointment easy and fast. If the professional does not have an area to train their client, then they can't really be a professional, right? So,
just to add on to that, it's already been demonstrated that there is a market for at-home fitness professionals. There are a good amount. And then a lot of exercise types, such as things like yoga, you don't really need to go to a gym for that. So a lot of people that have accessibility to at-home yoga instructors, they would much prefer them to come to their house instead of having to travel all the way to the gym, having to pay for the gym membership, etc.
So one thing that stood out about the current prototype is, you have a potential or customer putting in some information, right? This kind of time goes out to a ton of fitness professionals. The first one available grabs it. I would imagine a lot of, people looking for personal trainers would want to kind of vet the trainer and ensure that person matches their style, et cetera, their background. I'm just curious to understand kind of what went to that decision and if you foresee any issues with that.
Yeah, so each professional and yoga instructor usually has a certificate of their certification for being a professional. So we can always verify that. Specifically, it's like a NASM for, can you pull that up? They have a board certificate. So if that doesn't exist, then they are not a certified professional.
Well, yeah, I think the question is more of just empowering customers to select their preferred professional based on the type of training. Are you only doing yoga or starting with yoga, or are you doing all kinds of fitness? Or, some folks based on their gender, their age, may want a trainer that, focuses on a certain clientele or has experience in weightlifting versus yoga. So I guess trying to understand how you would approach that. Understand the certification.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yes, we can add preferences to our site. Right now, it's like bare bones in terms of preferences, but one drop down later, we can let them pick specifically age, gender, and more for the professional.
And just to add to that, if they don't like the professional, they can always just cancel the booking, and we will give them another one. They don't have to go with it's not like they have to go with the professional that they're given on the first appointment scheduling.
To clarify, every time a professional accepts a client's request, the client is sent all the professional's information, including their board certificate. So if they have any issues, they can cancel it and full refund.
I was going to ask if you're going to start in a particular fitness or sports vertical, sort of to the point that you were making, like having, if you're starting in a region, 20 different yoga teachers on there, and that's like a specialty, and then you expand to other fitness verticals.
Yes, so we were actually looking into that right before this, and we find that it's very easy to add specific different industries in terms of professionals. So we're just starting with strength trainers and yoga instructors for now, but yes, that's a drop-down menu.
And how did you pick those two spaces?
Those two had the largest available market in California, specifically the Berkeley area.
Could you share a little bit more on your monetization breakdown?
Yes. Can we go to the commission slide real quick?
And then, sorry, I guess a follow-up too. I know with a lot of services like this, is there anything stopping, let's say I hire a yoga teacher through this, they come to my house and I'm like, oh, that's great. And the yoga teacher says, hey, okay, let's cut a deal outside of this platform.
Yes, so specifically, the professional will stay on the platform because the professional gets many clients from our platform. If they just stay in our platform, they get many clients if they stay on our platform. If they leave the platform, they won't have access to the clients. And the client would prefer to stay on the platform because later, if they want another different professional, that's the only way they can book it.
And to add on to that, it's a lot safer for clients and professionals to stay on our site because we guaranteed that the professional or the client won't scam each other.
Thank you, judges. We have time for one more question.
Clear? Okay, all right.
All right, thank you, Lift Right. Not Lift Right, Lighthouse.
Hi, I am Isa.
And I'm Rohan.
And we are co-founders of Gift Daddy, where you can find gifts you never imagined. Don't you want to make every gift and, oh my gosh, how did you think of that moment, right? Well, you're not alone. This is Julio. Julio met Nicole a month ago and got invited to her birthday party this coming weekend. He wants to make her happy with the gift he'll get her, but he has no clue what to get. So he goes on the internet, scours on YouTube videos, and even goes on other AI apps. However, he still doesn't know what to get. So he turns to traditional gift guides. But he shows up to the party with this lousy pair of socks. You've probably received a gift like this before from a traditional gift guide.
Julio's not alone on this problem. Our research found that over 80% of people often or always struggle with finding the right gift.
and 75% of people admit that they felt that they've wasted time. Well, that's where Gift Daddy comes in. Gift Daddy is designed to transform the way you find and give gifts, making it effortless as well as enjoyable, taking the guesswork and time out of gift giving. So, Julio already has an idea of Nicole's hobbies and interests, as well as the memory that he wants to base the gift on.
He recalls the moment when he and Nicole went paddleboarding, and Julio rocked the paddleboard back and forth until they tipped over and fell into the water. And then they had to walk back drenched in water. It's a very memorable and fun moment that he wants to base a gift on. So he goes into our app, types in Nicole's name from his contacts, and then selects her as a friend. And then he types in a hobby, whether it's gaming, makeup, or even Olivia Rodrigo. From there, he selects her birthday, and then clicks on her name. Types in memory, whether it's a unique experience, or even an inside joke. And in this case, it's the paddleboard story. From there, you select a budget, and you can begin swiping. You can swipe left for more options, and you can swipe right to add to the wish list. From there, simply tap on the wish list in the up right-hand corner, and then tap the product, and it'll take you right to Amazon through our affiliate link. In the end, Julio found the perfect gift for Nicole, and Nicole was ecstatic. That's the power
magic
of Gift Daddy.
In just 3 days, we've gained over 260 new users. Isn't that amazing?
Furthermore, we've had 915 perfect matches in just 1 week.
So, how does Gift Daddy stack up with our competitors? Well, when you're using traditional gift guides or social media, you run into similar problems. One, you can't find unique finds or personalization. As well, with other AI apps, you simply just can't get that fast gift recommendation. With Gift Daddy, we take into account all 3 of these important features, allowing us to crush the market. So, why us? Well, our team is driven by a passion for making gift giving meaningful as well as effortless, with a diverse background in technology, as well as a shared commitment towards innovation. We are dedicated to transforming the way you find and give gifts.
Our marketing is simple. We've already done Instagram Reel ads, Apple search ads, and even TikTok video ads. Our business model is simple as well. Whenever customers purchase on Amazon through our provided affiliate link, we receive an up to 10% commission per sale.
So, for our roadmap, by the end of Q3 of 2024, we plan to land our first 10 brand partnerships. By Q4 of 2024, we plan to expand past our Amazon affiliacy into the Etsy affiliacy program. By Q1 of 2025, we plan on creating an online platform for advertisers. So we're seeking $150,000, with $45,000 going towards marketing, an additional $45,000 going towards app and website development, $30,000 for legal costs, and $30,000 for operational costs.
Thank you, and let's change the way we gift together.
Thank you, Gift Daddy. We'll now go into 3 minutes of questions from the judges.
I need this platform, please.
You can download it right here.
That'll get QR code. Perfect. Yeah, curious what's built out right now. Of the users who have gone on, has anyone actually purchased a gift? Any feedback you've gotten from users? We'd just love to hear more about their experience.
So that's a fantastic question. We just got approved for the Amazon affiliate program yesterday, thanks to Rohan's connections at Amazon. So that sped up the process a lot. But unfortunately, that means for the entire time our app's been on the App Store, we have no data about who's actually purchased gifts. We only have data about who's swiped right on gifts. Yeah. And the feedback's been great. People love the gifts that have been suggested. There's a few bugs with the app that we need to work out, but that's what we plan on using our budget for.
Oh yeah, I have a follow-up. This is a really cool idea, and I'm curious what sets your gift recommendations apart from other, people searching on Google, Pinterest, TikTok, etc. What's unique?
Okay, so basically, as we are doing research, so we know that other apps, like
our competitors on the market, they're all just simple wish list app or maybe calendars, but we combine them together as a totally new app. And also they're pretty old. So we're just we just have this app like this year. So which means it's the latest app of this area. And also it's personalized. As we show, you have to share a story or inside joke with us, which means it's better for the AI and also for us to meet your needs, like more personalized.
And when you use a platform like Pinterest, you'd probably put in like one hobby you have with a person. Like say they're a coder or something. You search gifts for coder or like gifts for gamers. And you'll see results for like pretty generic results that if she searches the same thing, she'll also see. So it doesn't feel like as personal a gift. And it takes longer too.
I have two questions. One, does the affiliate link work across like all Amazon products? And like you sign up once and you can programmatically generate it? Yeah. All right, cool. And then for the personalization, currently the user has to enter a story or something. Have you thought about other ways like mining their text messages or something to make it more personalized?
Yeah, so we've thought about adding an Instagram integration where you pull your friends from Instagram and we kind of just scan through their posts and who they follow to see kind of what they're interested in. And the big concern we have with that is people, we're worried, aren't super comfortable with that. But we'd love to do research with that and find out if people would be willing to do that. And if they are, we'd love to spend our budget on that because that would make the experience a lot easier, and that's a fantastic idea.
In addition to this, every 3 swipes left in a row, we ask additional questions about the person, so we improve our date recommendations.
Like buying gift for my boyfriend right now, and birthday end of month, like needed this bad, so yeah, just thanks for doing something neat.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges. We have time for one last question.
Currently, it only requires one person, right, to do. Like the other person isn't aware of the app, which is awesome. Yeah, it's a lot easier than having both people opt in. But have you thought about ways to market the product within someone's network, like once they start using the product?
So we're currently marketing at TikTok, Instagram, and Apple search ads. This is our customer acquisition costs.
Oh, I mean outside of paid acquisition.
Like organic, yeah.
Yeah, organic.
So our goal is that if you get a gift that's perfect, you ask, how did you think of that? And they say, Gift Daddy, and then it creates a circle. Yeah.
Thank you, Gift Daddy.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to thank everyone for being here. Now I'm going to pass it on to our awesome program director, guy who started it all, Sadak Cervantes.
Hello. Hello, hello. Love you too. Thank you very much for being here. I know Friday morning, work, school, but I think the students right now are experiencing a lot of growth, and it's so awesome that you're here to witness that. Now, the judges have also their own funds to run, their own companies to run, and everything, so I just want to give the judges one more round of applause for their time here. Thank you. Now, talking about people that are giving their time and their energy and leaving their lives behind for this month, I also want to talk about the mentors. The mentors are a group of people that are giving their all. This is Lingap right here. Lingap is not me, Lingap is not a brand, Lingap is not a logo, Lingap is them. They are the ones that stay up until 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., not just working with them, but also making sure that they are in their dorms at the correct time, that they are alive, that they are healthy, giving them cough drops and everything. So while this is the biggest strength of Lingap, this is also the biggest weakness because we can't scale. We can't run several Lingaps because it's very hard to find another Kedivine, another Nicole, Janet, Kea, Arnie, Julio, Mariana, Ale, Ollie. MJ, Luis, and Gemma. It's very hard to find people like that because these are people that have been on the trenches, that are in the middle of it all. They have their own companies, their own jobs. They are very successful on their own. And imagine just going to a CEO of a company doing millions of dollars in revenue and be like, hey, can you take 1 month off out of your life, come here to mentor some kids that you have never seen and that you will never probably see again, please. Finding people like that is so hard. It's so hard. And I want to recognize these people here. And especially, I want to recognize you here. So, here specifically because happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ale. Happy birthday to you. Awesome, awesome. I told you were going to steal this show. You didn't believe me. 2024 is over. However, 2025 is just around the corner. If you, parent, family member, friend, alumni, experience something powerful here, I really recommend that you start referring people now, because we already have people that already paid for 2025. Like, we have already like 10 spots filled. So this really shows that there's like a demand for something like Lingap, you know, for a place where students can fail, can grow, can build resilience to ultimately become stronger adults. Now, you can follow their journey at our Instagram. If you haven't given us a follow, do so, please. We post everything there. Lingap is a hard experience, but it's also a fun experience, as you saw on the first video. And we post a lot of memes created by the students themselves. Now, before we go into the judges, I want to take a couple of moments to thank all the alumni that have traveled great distances. We have Anthony from the online program over there. We have 2024, last month. And we have like something crazy happened. We were just walking yesterday, I think, and one of the students told me, we found an alumni from Lingap. And I was like, what do you mean? 2017 Lingap alumni here. Already graduated from UC Berkeley, doing his own thing, and it's so awesome. I was talking to the judges that it's so awesome to like see them grow, see them like graduate high school, graduate college, start their own things. And that's really why we do what we do. Doing what we do is so hard. It's so hard because it would be so easy for us to just do a canned lecture, a canned curriculum, to have 80 people, 100 people classes, and just like, here's the class, here's the curriculum, do what you want with it. But we take a one-on-one approach with every single team, every single student, and that's the power of Lingap, the power to connect with one another. So without further ado, judges, may you join me on stage, please. Testing, testing. Okay. This is our honorary judge for the day.
This is Maui's first pitch competition. I've taken lots of photos. Yeah, might see them online later.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you again for having me as a judge. You mentioned, we have work and things to do. There's no place I would rather be than here. So as long as I'm in town, I will always be here if I'm invited back. So thank you so much for having me. I am going to talk about the most outstanding company. So these were hard decisions for us to make because the pitches this year and the companies this year have been extremely outstanding. So there were a lot of great things to pick from. We took a look at what everyone was doing when we were in the judging room, and we looked at mission and impact and progress and who was out there doing it. Maui's like, get to it already. And the company that we picked for most outstanding is Spiky.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen. I am so excited to be here Sadok reminded me this is my 3rd year judging. And just thank you for always having us. And before I announce the winner of the best pitch, I wanted to just acknowledge, the last 4 weeks of, blood, sweat, tears, sleepless nights. Sadok was sharing how much hard work you've put into this. So you should all be really proud of yourselves today for making it through Lean Gap. And so without further ado, we wanted to share that the best pitch is Lollygag. Yeah. And this was a really tough decision, but you had really infectious energy. We just were so captivated by your story. You hit all of the important parts of the pitch: mission, vision, prototype, technology, right, scale, monetization, et cetera. And you handled the Q&A with grace. So thank you and congratulations.
Check. Yeah, once again, I just want to echo the same sentiments. Really, really grateful for the opportunity to be here. I find events like this just so much more rewarding than the day-to-day work. I volunteer with a number of organizations like Techstars and a couple of nonprofit accelerators where I'm working with entrepreneurs just like yourselves, and this is one of the most exciting and challenging things you guys can be doing with your lives. So I just want you guys to be very proud of yourselves and all the hard work you're doing. We added a 3rd category because there was one that we really just wanted to call attention to. We have this category, Judge's Favorite, and it was because it was a product that we would all use and we were all captivated by. We immediately downloaded the app and started using it. So we just want to give a Judge's Favorite to GiftDaddy. We're really impressed that when we scanned the QR code, we thought it was going to take us like a landing page or something, but to see that an app was already built and ready to use, and it's something that we all experience as consumers, as friends, as partners. So great job.
Any lessons you want to impart to the kids, or?
Yeah, one thing that I was thinking as I was listening to all the pitches was I just really wanted to encourage people to learn to build even more on the product side as much as possible, using no-code tools or low-code tools, or getting your hands dirty in engineering and things like that, even just a little bit, because a little bit can take you really far, and you'll learn a lot as well. So yeah, just wanted to encourage that for the future.
Great. Yes, definitely echo that, and wanted to add on, right, as you're building different prototypes, don't worry about failing. Get those prototypes in front of real users, ask them for feedback, et cetera. If you're not embarrassed of it at the beginning, that means you waited too long to share it with users.
Definitely. I've been a chief technology officer for like 10 plus years now, and I regularly reflect on the lessons that I've learned, and there's a conversation of like build versus buy, like what should you build and what should you buy? Most of the time when people think about MVP, they think that they, have to build this, product that's going to impress a ton of people, but really to really get to market as quickly as possible, you should think about the least amount of work that you have to do to validate a product. And so one continuous theme that I saw for a lot of the companies was trying to build too much versus buying things. You can buy a lot of tools and a lot of just like services off the shelf that can save you months and years of development time. Buy more, build less.
All right, let's give it up to the judges. Okay. So, congratulations to everyone. Remember that LeanGap is not the end game. LeanGap is not the end game. This is just the start of your journey. And many times, it doesn't really have an impact whether you win best pitch or most outstanding company. You continue to work. LeanGap is not the end game. Okay? Now, without anything else, I want to thank everyone for being here, mentors, students. Thank you for trusting LeanGap. Parents, thank you for trusting your children to LeanGap. One of the highest metrics of success that we have for accomplishment here at LeanGap is that no one died. So, thank you very much. Who wants a picture with the judges on stage?